All right, what up, my fellow diamonds? Welcome back to the Diamond Mine right here, man. I am Patrick coming at y'all once again, and welcome to another edition of Who We Talking To. And as you can see right here, we are talking to our lovely, lovely Pinky Salmon right here. Pinky, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I am fine today. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Just not too long ago, got home, and like I said, we got this thing going on right here. Let's see what everything we're gonna happen right here. Right now, see we have in the chat, we have Zed and we have Green Door. How y'all doing out there? Man? I hope y'all gonna be enjoying this right here as we sit out here with the lovely Pinky. So first of all, Pinky, I just want to say, thank you for coming on and things like that. And the first question I want to ask you, all right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Like how did you get started? Okay.
Well, I started writing songs for people um, back in the Gulf City days, and I would write parodies and stuff just because I was a fan and I really loved doing that.
Mhm.
And it kind of got out of control, and so I started doing covers on my channel. And I did like covers for 2 years on my channel, and then took everything away. And now I'm doing Chasing Tales, which is the storytelling and oration part of the bard skills that I'm working on. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went down.
Oh yeah, it's been so much fun. So it's like when you first started on YouTube, like when was that like, and how did basically really go? Like who'd you first start out with?
Um, gosh, Doc Griffin interviewed me first. Um, I hung out with the Ghastly Dope crew and Joke. I was on Joke show a couple times, and
Mhm.
he played my music for a while. And um, now I hang out with Sinatra and Alamo, and I do stuff for Alamo, not music wise, but other things. And Sinatra, I write songs for all the time. I'm working on a new one. I just need to find a piano player.
Yeah. I remember when I first discovered you. I want to say it was back in like 2000. I want to say like 2017 or 18 or something like that. Yeah, I discovered you because Sylvana's Dark Angel, when she was streaming, and then when she would go on break, she would basically play songs of you, but kind of basically like how I do now on my other live stream, where it's like,
Hmm.
it's like you and the fish silhouette
Viper.
right there, and then it's like the song in the end. I'm just like, man, who is that right there? She got a voice on her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she sounds so woo. they, and they told me about you, and I went and checked the channel out, and I saw like all the hey Viper, how you doing, sweetie? Like, and so I went and checked out like all the songs that you basically had on there, and I'm just like, man, this woman can really sing right here. So after that, I just basically got to following you right there, and seeing how you was basically doing like for everybody, especially when you started out with Sinatra, Oh my God, for like the AAA thing right
Hmm.
there, and I was just like, oh man, and been cool to you ever since. You've done a whole lot of things for me as well, and I'm totally grateful for it. So
I don't do it for the sake of money. You know
mm,
that. I try not to charge unless I'm absolutely strapped and need some. Okay. So I tell people, look, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you, and then we'll work it out together somehow where we're both happy with both of us progressing forward. That's really what I want to do. It's about the art and about the relationship more than it's about any of the other things. The numbers don't matter. I've been stuck at just about 500 subs for 6 months, and my viewership has started to taper off. So it's really not about that, and it's not about the money. I wish I could engage more with people. And I think by involving you guys in my projects, I get to do a little bit more of that. Um,
yeah, and
and,
you've basically
and,
been
and
having
that's
a lot
been
of
fun.
fun.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I like to write. I've written stories since I could hold a crayon. My mother had to explain the difference between a lie and a dream to me, and that I had to preface anything fantastic with "I had this dream." So that's the kind of way I am. But I like to have an outlet for that kind of thing. And every club I've ever been part of, I've written songs or performed or organized something and did art, and so it's kind of just the thing I do.
Yeah. So so when it comes like to like the writing and the singing, have you been has that been like how you've been doing basically like since you've been growing up? Like when did
Oh
when did you
yeah.
start getting into singing?
My dad had an amazing record collection when I was a child.
Hmm.
And we spent a lot of time when it was raining, because when it was sunshine, we were supposed to be outdoors. And because we were wild animals, that was where we belonged. And so, but on the rainy days, we'd listen to music and read books to each other. And so I both got a very good literary background as well as a music background. And he had this songbook called the Great American Songbook by Reader's Digest. And I remember now it was like yellow with like little starbursts and like green or something. And it had all the Great American songs from the 40s and some of the older ones. And so we would practice them and sing them because my grandmother could sing, but my mother could not. She could not carry a tune in a bucket. She used to say, when we were babies and she would try to sing to us, we would put our little hands over her mouth. That's how bad it was.
Oh my God.
But yeah, but it turned out that all of us could sing. All of the girls could sing. So we used to sing to each other, and they used to love us to do that. We used to perform for them and make little plays and all kinds of stuff. And so, because that's what children were supposed to do.
So you've been singing ever since you was like a little kid. So what was your childhood like?
We lived in a trailer in Louisiana near an Air Force base. We never could have friends because everybody came and went. And my dad had an MO that didn't station us anywhere. It was a computer sciences MO. So he stayed home and we were there for 15 years. And then when they broke up, then we moved a whole bunch. And I went to 6 different high schools. So that was fun, as you can imagine. But, I didn't go to college until late because I went to a seminary training session or 2. And they installed me as their children's minister after I got married. And so I did that for a few years, got married, had kids, that kind of stuff. And then that all fell apart.
All right. So when like going to like schools and things like that, were you like part of like basically like clubs or anything like that? Like,
No. I was far too shy to even join clubs. I wanted to be part of art and music and things like that, but I was far too shy to do that. I still have a hard time performing in front of people now, unless I throw up first or get really drunk. So
the way you be singing on these things.
Yeah, but
right
I'm
here
here in my studio with no one watching me. That's
So,
why I
like-
always joke that if I went out on tour, I'd have to send the hologram team out so that I could sing from home and they could do the fish show out there. And I would never have to go anywhere.
Like, I'll just sit right here and just.
That's right. I don't mind being on time to a show, but I'd rather be in my recliner and my slippers and singing instead of have to get all dressed up and sweaty and people grabbing at you. No, I don't want that. I ain't got time for being famous.
Yeah, especially what I'm saying, especially when they hear that beautiful, malevolent, pinky voice right there. They're gonna be like,
Pinky and the holograms. That's right. Like that old cartoon from the 80s. Jim and the holograms.
They're gonna be throwing the money in the saying, throwing the marry me.
And I am too old for all of that nonsense. I could not Taylor Swift. I could not Taylor Swift at any level at this point in my life. There's no way. I'm too old. I mean, I'm 505 this year. I don't think that that's a good plan for my future.
And you look and sound just as beautiful as ever.
Well, you're sweet.
So when it does come down to your singing, like what's like your favorite genre?
Obviously it's big band swing. It's all I do. I convert modern songs into big band swing. I don't know if you know, but I did a cover of Metallica in that style. Nothing Else Matters.
Oh, wow.
I've done several of those kind of songs, where I converted them. And thank God for the trend of the early 2000s with the jazz resurgence. What do they call themselves? I can't remember their name. But anyway, they have a lot of tracks, and I use a lot of their tracks because I just love the way it sounds. And to me, that's the music I grew up on. It's my grandmother sang to me because she could sing. And so it always makes me feel nostalgic. There's not much about my childhood that I feel really nostalgic about or want to go back to, but listening to my grandmother sing while she baked cookies was one of those things. And so music's always been very important to me. It's been my escape from weirdness, and it's been my solace when I'm happy. So
Yeah, Vipersaur right there saying Pinky and the hologram. That sounds like a good name right there.
Right? Under the sea.
Yeah. Okay, so like yeah, so we're starting out with on YouTube and things like this. Like what made you pick like the the fish avatar, like the salmon right here.
Okay, now that story comes from Ghastly
Mhm.
because we were in chat one day and there was a whole bunch of bears that month decided they were going to sign up as a bear of some kind. And Ghastly said, "How come there's nothing to feed these guys? There's no salmon. No one chooses a fish for an avatar." And so I automatically just went and changed it. And I've been Pinky ever since.
So gas to throw it out there. Yeah, it's like,
Mhm.
not a bad idea. Okay,
Not a bad
and
idea. And I always give him credit because that's where it came from.
so gas is the reason why Pinky, Pinky exists right there. Big
Yep.
shout out to Ghastly, our
Yep.
favorite ghost. Oh my god. Okay, so
Ooh,
so what
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and Squirrel Nut Zipper. Yes, absolutely. Green Badger. Both of those are high on my list of favorites.
all right, so like when you started off saying was thinking content always going to be like your number one thing, or like
Oh no, I had never intended for singing to ever feature at all in my abilities. The only reason it ever even started was I was brave enough to send Ghastly some random crap. I never thought he'd play them. I never thought he would use them for anything. I just sent them because I'm a fan and I thought, look, I made this for you. It was that kind of thing. I never expected anything to come out of that. And it got to be where people started to make requests. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe I could do some more with this here. And so I started to do a little bit more with this here and started putting songs up because people were like, hey, can you do such and such a song? Or, hey, can you sing this song? And I've done 2 or 3 songs where I did them in 2 different tempos because someone asked. I think I did the Star Spangled Banner in up tempo and down tempo. And I did Minnie the Moocher that way and Summertime that way. People sometimes like a little change, and I like to do the upbeat versions of some songs because I think a lot of that was kind of dirgy at the time. But with the war, there was a slow, easy rhythm that had to be maintained to keep the mood of the patriot feeling. You know what I mean? At the time, there had to be a happy kind of mood, so it was part of the programming and the music at the time. Just like the music of the time from the 70s to now is more revolutionary in its nature, more violent and more pushing into different spaces. I mean, well, we won't go into the music theory, but I miss the happy music. Even the slightly stocky happy music of the 80s when we were coming away from that whole romance model of, a boy chooses a girl instead of the other way around.
And because I grew up doing the 80s right there. That was my genre going on. So like all right, so out of all the genres that you basically sing the things like that, what would you say would be your least favorite genre? Or the one that you feel like, I just can't get a beat to it.
I have to tell you, you're not going to be surprised when you hear my answer. Rap. I cannot rap for crap, bro. I don't know how people do it. I'm just like, I can do poetry. I can read poetry. I can sing, but I can't rap. I don't understand where the disconnect is.
I don't know. I think I can actually see you doing like some some NWA, doing some easy,
Yeah, but see, my voice is always the one in the background over the beat. It doesn't feature anywhere in modern music. And so I'm just a whale in the background somewhere, or heavy breathing, or some girly noise. It's just it's not the same.
You guys have to do like that one channel where you just basically take like these rap songs and just turn them into like just turn them into like those swing things right there. Yeah, that bitch better have my money,
right? But yeah, I've done a bunch of songs like that. Oh, the guy who wrote all of that stuff for shit, I can't remember his name. I'm too high. I'm so sorry. But there's this one writer that does a lot of Motown. And he did some stuff for I think Snoop Dogg. Just he's a regular in that set. He did Use Me and Ain't No Sunshine, Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah,
I love
told
that
you she
song.
got that voice to make it. Make
I
you
love
fight
that song.
yourself.
And I do a lot of his stuff. And I did No Diggity for
Mhm.
Drunkle because he asked me and he came back. He was like, I can't believe you did this. It's so good. And I'm like, no,
Oh, I love Drunkle's reaction to you, especially like when they do the AAA and like
oh,
the intro
yeah.
basically goes off there. Oh yes.
Yep. I always like to try and catch the beginning of the show because I love that reaction from him.
Man, you know.
But they're sweet guys, a bunch of them, and they get me to do stuff for them special once in a while. I did a bunch of Christmas stuff for them personally, and it's a lot of fun working with other people.
Yeah.
And I don't think of anybody as better than me or not better than me, so everybody gets treated pretty much the same. So
Yeah, Viper saying I don't like rap either. It's like me personally, it's like I like it to a certain point. Like from the 1980s till I'll say around 1996. That's where I basically stop off right there. Everything after that it just sounds ridiculous to me, because now they just making up rhymes and it
and there's
has
no substance. It's
there's
just
no substance or no story to it anymore.
yeah.
not just not just to rap itself, but like I said, basically I'm saying to any type of hip hop music, because hip hop used to have like a story to, like you were telling stories and things like that.
Mhm.
Now all they talk about is, well, especially for the guys now, all they talk about is now is like drugs and drugs and guns and having sex and how much money I got and things like that, while the women are just basically screaming like, like I'm independent and I don't need no man, and and booty popping and all that right there. And it's like,
Yes, the over sexualization of women in that
oh
genre
man.
upsets me a little bit. I mean, I know that they agree to that kind of stuff some, but it's still, to me, it's like, is that really the only value you think you have in the world? And that's what you got to show them. And I guess that sells records, but still, it bothers me.
Yeah, it's like that's what it's basically been reduced down to. Meanwhile, I'm saying you got a genre like country that they're still out there. Like they got sad songs from time to time and things like that, but they're basically mostly talking about like relationships and family and all that right there. And I tend to I
And
listen to
hard
a whole
work and
I listen to a whole genre and things like that, man. But
mhm.
it's what basically sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah. My dad was a country fan, and I wasn't as hip to that. There are a few songs I liked, but Conway Twitty and that kind of era, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on that,
That's
dude. Like I was like I said, I was raised up by a plethora. I was really diverse when it comes to basically waking up. Like I said, black mom, white mom, Hispanic mom, Native American mom, and I got raised in all those cultures. So it's like, yeah,
mhm.
like so I different. I'm saying learn different ways to live and learn different genres of music like that. So it's like people be surprised when I'm saying when they see the black man, he's over there, singing, like he's singing rock or he's singing like, like country and all that right there. Like, that song? I'm like, yeah, it's not just hip hop and gospel to me.
Yeah, that's not the only thing I'm allowed to listen to.
Mhm. So was that what I said? Was it like that? Growing up as well, like I'm saying, just basically listening to the different genres of music
Oh
and just
yeah, we
finding
just
out.
had everything available to us from, we had country music, we had the Beatles, we had everything. I think my first Beatles album was Abbey Road. That was the first one I sat through all the way. And then the White Album was my next, my next into them. And I was really into them for a while, and then I got listening to the lyrics and found like, you know what, that's not really practical. I don't think you can do those things. And when I found out what assholes they were in their private lives, I was like, can I separate the art from the artist on this? Do I like this enough? you know,
And
is
of
the
course,
crime worth that?
yeah, like I said, like when it comes to rap and things like that, I've listened to I'm saying, a few gangster raps and things like that, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Bone Thugs and Harmony and things like that. But it's
Mhm.
like after all that stuff basically went down, like I said, it just basically went downhill. And it's like, you know, it's still great music out there and things like that.
Oh,
And then,
sure. It's harder to
some
find
folks,
now because there's so much of it. I
yeah,
mean, you've got SoundCloud, you've got Bandcamp, and you got people all over the YouTube, all over Twitter, and everywhere trying to promote their songs and their music. And there's just so much you can't possibly get to all of it. And at least when we had a gatekeeper, i.e., the
hmm
record labels, at least when we had gatekeepers, they could funnel the best stuff to us. That was the theory. But And they really did. I mean, we got so much good black music out of the 40s that white
Mhm.
people just took the fuck over. And I mean, it did happen.
It did.
You can't deny it. It's laugh or cry, right? So
Mhm.
you go, okay, well, that did happen. And I love a lot of that music and sing a lot of that music. In fact, when I'm having a bad day, what I want are memes and Motown.
Mhm.
Let's go. Let's get some girl bands up in here and rock this place because I
Oh
want to
yeah,
hear some singing. And
good little
so,
Richard.
yes, Chubby Checkers, all those motherfuckers. Let's go.
Yeah, that's and I do feel like that's what a lot of music a lot of people in music have done. They've forgotten about the past, and things like
Mhm.
that. Like who pioneered the waves and I'm saying all the music and how that was right now. Now it's just all about them just going out there, rhyming back with cat and saying, I make money and I shoot this, like
Right.
I said, especially the hip hop variety. And it's like, like and failing to realize with the uh with let's see with the generation that's growing up nowadays when I'm saying when they hearing that right there, that's what they think is going on, and that's what they think is all about. They fail to realize, like you help shape the next generation that's that's growing up right there. And when you're basically putting stuff out there like this and that, that's what they think is basically going on. So you wonder why, like you look at one side of the community and it's basically living and sounding like this and that, and then you look at this other side right here, and I'm saying they got morals and values and principles, all up in their up in their music. While this one is basically telling you to go out there and do this and do that, and
Well, and everything points toward consumption in our culture at the moment on every side. It's not exclusive to one group or another at this point, but we're so funneled into consuming and spending that's what we think a good life looks like.
mhm,
Like I say a lot, the kids now wouldn't know happiness if it bit them on the ass and gave them a kiss because they've never experienced anything really to compare it to. Not a whole lot of trauma, right?
mhm,
In the middle class. There's some, of course, abuse and whatnot, but overall, I don't think it's as widespread as it once was because I think we're so much more aware of it. But
mhm,
so if you don't have anything really bad to compare it to, you don't always recognize it when it comes, and it's not a constant state, nor is it meant to be.
yeah.
Contentment is a much more easy feeling to manage, and I wish more people would get a grip on it.
Mhm. All right. So my next question is like, okay, besides singing, like I said, what else do you like to get into? Like,
Well, being a bard, I do all the bard things. I write, I orate, I sing, I perform in some fashion. Um, I like to go to when I can afford to do stuff like that. I like to go to the symphony or to ballet or to plays. I like
mhm,
to get involved in that kind of community level of performance, not to perform, but to watch.
mhm,
Because I still, like I said, I don't do stage work at all, if I can help it. And so I love books. If I had time to read, I would read many more books. I'm a big movie fan. I have hundreds of DVDs, which I wish I could buy more of.
big movie fan, like I said, favorite genre.
uh Movies, comedy, definitely. I'm not a rom-com person. I don't like mushy, unrealistic romance. I think
Mhm.
that's silly. I do like a good action movie as long as it's not too woke.
Yeah, me being a man, I love my action.
Oh man, I love some violence. We we watched on Hulu the Shogun series.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it was so good. They did such a good job. And there are other things like that. The Musketeers is a great romp. I mean, it's fun as fuck to watch. And they do a lot of sword fighting, which is my favorite. So
Yeah. Uh, yeah, because I definitely get into my action and things like that. Like, oh man, I love my western. Like man, growing up, man, I used to watch the hell out of the Rifleman. I still do because, like I say, there's a channel that comes on, and it just basically like it'll do like 24/7 Rifleman episodes. They're just playing back over and over, and they never get old, man.
yeah, yeah. There are shows like that for me too. I'm mostly a cartoon person. If it's animated, I'll watch it. Unless it's straight up Japanese anime. Some of those I will watch, some not so much. I'm a Miyazaki fan, so anything out of
Oh yeah,
Ghibli
Miyazaki.
Studio, I'm totally for. I liked Rurouni Kenshin. I watched Ranma 1/2, which was okay. I watched All My Goddess and Chobits, and a lot of that kind of stuff at the very beginning of the anime wave in the early '90s. But I haven't watched a whole lot of anime since then because I find it's pretty redundant after a
Mhm.
while. A lot of the storylines pretty much follow the same little trot, trot, trot. And so you go, how many times can I watch a person power up for half an hour before it's boring? I'm looking at you, DBC.
Bon Socko, you put a sock in it, man.
No, I have watched My Little Pony, and I honestly don't know what the big fucking deal is.
My daughter, like I'm saying, well, not my daughter, but I'm saying my last girlfriend's daughter was into it. I watched it one time and I was just like, this is a really good show and things like that. And then I found out about this whole entire, thing that basically went down. I went to one con and things like that, to meet like the actual voice characters and shit like that. No, I'm not. I used to. I wouldn't even call myself a
Yeah, they're okay. The brony thing, it's not just liking the ponies. It's liking the ponies. It's wanting to be a pony or be with a pony. Yeah, that's not okay. That's a little far for me. I'm not a fan of the furry. I am a cartoon character, but I am not sexually turned on by myself being a cartoon. Okay, there's a line, and so I think people want to make everything so blurry that everything is okay when nothing is true. Everything is permissible, and that's what we're headed towards.
It's like that's what it was. Like I like the show, and I went to the little BronyCon thing, like to meet the characters, and that's when I really saw like how.
And you think it's going to be a bunch of 8-year-old girls, right?
But you got a bunch of grown, you got a bunch of grown people and things like that dressed up as like the characters and things like that, and it got so weird,
Yeah.
You're seeing grown men, things like that. What I'm saying with Twilight Sparkle plushies and all that right there, and I'm just like,
oh, I know.
Like,
I mean, and that's fine if that's what they want to do with themselves, but please don't try to get me involved in that. I'm not interested. It's like any other LARP. They try to get me to play vampire and they try to get me to play White Wolf, and I'm like, no. I'm a tabletop girl. I'm old school. I don't have time for this jumping around in the woods bullshit. Go away with that.
But yes, like I said, I am a big fan of cartoon and anime. Like when you say like Japanese anime, are you talking about the subs or the dubs?
Okay, no, I have a beef with this whole situation with subs and dubs. It used to be back in the 90s, they had fan translators that were actually good. And then Funimation snapped up all their stuff, and so they couldn't do it anymore. And so the subs and the dubs never really quite work out right. Because the Japanese is going to have idioms that we can't translate into English, And so I have an issue with it. I like to watch it with subtitles. Japanese, let's go.
Yeah, because I could do either one of them and things like that.
But I prefer the subtitles because they don't have to fight with the English translation.
Yeah, I know. Like with subtitles, it's like I'm saying, it's hard to concentrate on the thing right there because I'm too busy reading what the hell they're saying. And plus, like it's true out like when you're watching the sub version because you watch the dub version and everybody they're basically saying their lines and things like that, and all of a sudden you watch the subtitle version.
It's like 80 freaking words for a tiny mouth movement. You're like, what is going on here?
And they're saying it with such excitement. I'm like, dang.
Right. That's so extra, bro. Settle down.
I'm like, yeah, the Japanese voice actor got a little too excited for that one.
Yeah.
All right. So now, all right, let's talk Chasing Tails, man, because this series that you've been making right here, it has been so good, man. I'm like I told you, every time the episode comes out and things like that, I'm automatically saying, all right, let me save it to the list right there because I know, when I have my times and things like that, if I'm not doing all my stuff right here and I just want to chill back, I'll just click onto like the chase and tell thing right there and just be watching episodes after episodes. I'm just like, oh man, can't wait till the next one comes out. So it's like
Tomorrow. The next episode comes out tomorrow.
All right, I'm gonna make sure, like I said, as soon as I hit up right there, like hit that on the spot, and mainly gonna have to get onto it on the weekend because that's the time when I can basically really chill right there. So like,
right.
So how did that how did it all get started right there? Like when you decided to like, I'm gonna do this right here.
It was actually a request. Someone wanted to know about Pinky's lore. And I'm like, well, this, and this. And they're like, no, really, go deep. I want to hear her story. And so that's what we did. And the whole thing is just layers and layers of storytelling types. We've got Kevin, the reporter. We've got flashbacks and dreams and all kinds of ways to tell stories. So it's just been an exercise in that for me and expanding Pinky's character. Sorry, my chair is stuck.
I know, like mine's get that way too when I lean back a little more. So it's like I understand the squeakiness at times.
Yeah, but yeah, they wanted to hear more of the story, and it just kind of. I wrote a couple episodes, right? That was the plan originally. I'm gonna write a couple episodes and see how it does. And I got such a good response for the first couple episodes that I just kept going. And finally, at some point, I thought, I'm gonna get bored of this eventually. I'm gonna have to think about what I'm gonna do. And so I said, okay, here's what we'll do. We will go to 100 episodes because that's how many one of my favorite shows had in its first original run. And so we're going to do 100 episodes, and then I'm going to close the channel and leave YouTube and find something else to do. But yeah, and then probably what's going to happen after I finish the 100th episode is I'm going to consolidate them into one file. And some people have suggested I try and sell it to Audible. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I will find a way to make it available to people if they want it. Like all the music.
It is so good, Pinky. Like,
well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. It's like I said, been huge fun for me. I mean, I'm writing like crazy all day.
Especially like started out like because you started out like Sinatra was doing like the narrating at first and
yeah, and the characters change voices periodically because somebody can't do it that week, or they decide that they're done doing this project and they want to move on to something that's going to require that time. And so the voices change, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I have some fine people working with me. I mean, there's you, Pat, and you're willing to try anything. And then I've got Viper Sword down here, and she has done everything I have ever asked her to, and always surprised me, even though I know how good she is. I'm so excited about next season because we're gonna get a new narrator next season, and it's Viper's husband, and I'm so excited.
Mr. Viper Swords up in what?
Yeah, we're gonna have to actually give him a name besides Viper's husband.
That's what I've been. Well, that's what we've been called, or and I call him Viper's husband or Mr. Viper Sword because we don't know nothing else.
Viper, you could make money doing what you're doing as a pro
Viper.
voice actor. You totally could.
Viper knows that she's good and she knows she's cute. I'm not any of that right there.
You're not allowed to call me cute. Quit. Yeah. We love our Viper Sword though. She's amazing and talented and super cool.
Oh yeah, and she knows it.
But Steve Dave has done so many more voices than anybody in the series. He's super talented, and I'm working with him on an anime project. He's writing a fan fiction or something, and we're going to act that out. So I'm working on that with him. I think I'm supposed to be a bad guy. I don't know. We'll find out when we see the script, I suppose. But but then I've got a music thing working with someone else. Me and Roots Calhoun are working on a project together, so I'm waiting on him right now.
Roots, oh Lord.
Yeah, but he wants to do some stuff and put me on there. It won't be anything big, I'm sure. Just like I said, wailing in the background because he is a rapper. But, it'll be fine. And that'll be fun to do. And it's something I haven't done before. But I was complaining earlier because I've done everything on my bucket list. I got to figure out some new things to do.
Yeah, but say if like Chasing Tails actually did like like somebody discovered it and being like, oh my God, this is a wonderful thing, and and they wanted to make it big. Like what I'm saying, how would you react to that?
Okay, Well, there's two things I'd want.
Mm.
I'd want residual income from it. You know, I'd want the rights to say, "Hey, I wrote this."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I might be inclined to work with a group that wanted to work on the show as writing advisor or head writer. But as far as just selling it wholesale for somebody else to ruin, I feel kind of crappy
Oh,
about
that
that.
would be the downfall, especially
Yeah,
nowadays and things like that. How they're doing stuff, I'm like, yeah, they would take the show and they would completely like, ugh.
they would woke it up, and that would make
Yeah,
me feel sad.
exactly that would woke it up.
Yeah, and that would make me feel real bad about it. But, so I mean, the point was never to be famous. The point was never to publish. The point was to entertain my friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was the point.
That we have been, because like I said, I have been loving every episode. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I imagine if you and Pixie worked in the same place, you would talk to each other over the water cooler about the show, which is hilarious because you're in the show. And
Yeah, like I'm doing the show, like I'm saying, like, Joe, did you see I'm saying, did you hear about the last episode? Like, what happened?
Yeah, we're fixing to do some big stuff next season. Y'all are going to be super excited, and we have returned to our habit in the past of having a song at the beginning or the end of the season. This time, the end of the season song is the song for the hunters. So I had said when I met them that I would write them a song because that's what makes me cool in this scenario, apparently, and so. Because I can't gut a wee rabbit. So I'm write them a song, and that song features at the end of the season. And you guys, voice actors, are working on this very episode. So it should be fun. And I'm hoping I can get you guys to sing drunkenly along with the chorus at least once. So we'll see what you do.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
I mean, everybody is like, I can't sing. Blah blah blah. No, that's not the point of the sound. We want it to sound like people in a bar getting drunk singing a chorus to a new song that they like. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
The bad happy birthday algorithm. We wanted it to be background noise and it to fill it out, audio speaking.
Oh yeah, that'd be much fun right there. Like
Now, I will say, if someone came to me and said, "I'd love to animate your show," I might have to really think about that. If they wanted to animate it as it's written, I think I'd be for that.
Because I think they, I'm saying, you got some nice good animators that can put some stuff together. It's like,
Yeah, well, and the fish itself, the avatar for her comes from Skaggles, who did Happy Tree Friends stuff on his YouTube channel for a while. And I don't think that's his property, but he loved doing them and he was really good at it. So I still get a little Happy Tree Friends thing from him periodically in Discord. But he's the one who designed her and did a lot of the animations. Because when I first started doing shows, we animated a full-length Pinky show in the club. And unfortunately, all of those files are gone. But it was just a regular club show. I'd do a little banter. I'd sing a couple of 3 songs. We'd take a little break. And then I'd come back and do 2 or 3 more songs. And it was fine, except I could only do 1 a month because the animation took so long. And at this point, I'm just doing mouth and fin motion stuff. I'm just doing real basic motion stuff. And then we lost the program. They stopped supporting, what was it called? Flash. They stopped supporting Flash. And so we lost all of that. And he wasn't interested in continuing with that with me. So we went ahead and cut that part of the project away and went on to something new, which was just the audio part of the songs. And I put out 2 albums over the course of that year. So, there's all that.
Oh, yeah. Look, oh Lord, I'm about to ask something else. Now I done slipped my mind. Like, God damn it.
Sorry, I wandered off into a rabbit hole. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Oh, it was so good too.
But yeah, if you ever want to hear the music that was on the most recent run of the channel, it's all in my Discord in the archives. Even all of the Ghastly and that stuff. I don't put Sinatra's up because he paid for those songs. So I don't put them up on mine, but the Christmas album is there hidden if you want to buy a copy. There's, Moist is there if you want to buy a copy of that. And those were some of my favorite songs to cover. And, that's all there if you want to look at it.
Oh yeah.
And I've left instructions that if I suddenly die, then all of the Discord gets opened up and all of that archival stuff is available. So
Oh yeah. Now I know what I wanted to ask. Like yeah, when it comes to the chasing tails thing, like as we're like sending you us like your sending you like our voice lines and things like that, we also be giving you our outtakes. Cause oh man, the many times I'll be, like I'll be like doing like my voices and things like that, and all of a sudden I just messed up and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna say that part right there because she'll probably get a kick out of it.
oh dude, you guys have me laughing some days. I'm dragging ass through cuts and I'm like, suddenly I get to Pat talking nonsense about something. I'm like, Pat, I know you can't hear me, but I'm talking to you anyway. And I'm laughing and stuff and cutting up. And I liked at the beginning how we did bloopers at the end over the credits, but it got to be where everybody kind of started doing the same thing. And it didn't feel organic anymore. So
yeah, because I'll be sitting right here like getting into a line and all of a sudden I'll be saying something. It's like, yeah, now I'm just right here, and I wonder if Pinky gonna realize that I just fucked this line up. So
and I always
I'm hearing everybody
stuff.
else, not just I just be rolling, man, because I'm like, good, I'm not the only one.
Hey, Keisha. Yeah, and everybody, every voice actor in the stable has their own particular screw up noise. With me, it's that indignant, how dare I? And there are other people who have noises where they just go, oh man.
Me, I'm trying not to cuss, but eventually I'm like,
you can cuss. I cut that out. It's fine. I don't mind. If you can do that anywhere, it's with me. Your secret is safe. Hi, Keisha.
All right. All right, now, okay, what about gaming? Do you get into that?
I don't at the moment have time, but I am a regular gamer, I think. Mostly puzzle games, strategy, that kind of stuff. I like RPG type stuff. Zelda is on my list of favorites. I have Skyrim. I'm completely addicted to. It is the oldest fucking game I still play. Oh, and and I've put thousands literally of hours into it. I can be on somebody else's stream and go where they and look at where they are and tell them what adventure they're on, where they are. Oh, that's Morthal. That's blah 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 blah. So this is bad. I try not to backseat.
When it comes to the RPG, I'm also Diablo 3.
Yeah. See, I don't like the top down view on the games like that. I tried Baldur's Gate and I love that. I love Baldur's Gate and I love Icewind Dale and all of those, but I want a first person now. I just want to be right in there. And when I started playing Skyrim, I had a 70-inch projector screen in my living room. We had one whole wall just blocked off in white just for the screen and it felt like you were inside it. You could stand up and feel like you were at the same size as everything else. It was really cool. And so that was way fun.
First person I played with, was basically Resident Evil 8 right there. So, and when that game came out there, oh man, that game was hot, man, because everybody talking about like, oh my god, 9-foot dummy mommy and all that right there. And I mean, I got to the game and and she was one of the first people I killed, and I'm just like, wait a minute, that's it, like.
That's all you got?
Yeah, like they made this whole entire game around her, and she's the first one you take out. I'm like, what the? And then you got you see what everything else has to offer, and I'm just like, oh, come on, man.
They could have done so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, they could at least made her the whole entire enemy and things like that. These other three people, like, who are they?
Who the fuck are they?
Yeah, but I have fun gaming and things like that. Like right now, I'm hugely into like the simulation games, like on my Xbox. Basically, like I got like this cooking simulator, and I know it's wild because I actually cook in real life, and then all of a sudden I come home and I then put on the game where I'm cooking again. I'm just like,
you play at the thing that you work at. That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, and yet, when you work at it, do you think of it as play? I wonder.
When I work at it, I'm ready to get the hell out of there. Like,
right.
I'd rather be cooking on the game instead of cooking up in here. At least these people don't complain,
And you can sit. Standing on your feet all day is no joke, bro. I've done that.
So I've been getting huge into the simulation game, but I've been jumping into to other varieties because, like I said, it all depends on what basically catches my like once again, just like with music, it all depends on what catches my eye. So I'm just like, this game looks and it sounds very good right here. Now,
Yeah.
they've been trying to get me into other things and stuff like that. Like, some people are trying to get me into Dead by Daylight. I've seen too many people play that on Twitch right there, and I'm just like, I don't even know where to freaking start on this thing.
Yeah, nah, I can't even with that kind of stuff. And I'm not a Fortniter. I don't like the battle royale
Oh,
first person shooter stuff. I feel too much pressure. If I'm playing a game, it's to escape what else is going on in the world.
yes.
And so I don't want to have to fight with more of that noise. That's why the puzzle games are so good because they're
Yeah.
soothing and
Like the Fortnites and the Call of Duties and things like that. It's like, especially the Call of Duty, because that's just a game right there. You gotta get competitive in.
mm-hmm. No playing around there.
Mm. And I got like a nephew who likes to play games and things like that. And I'm just like, if you want to sit around and play games all day, at least get into something, like join a league or whatever. Like
Yeah.
join these Call of Duty leagues and stuff like that, You know what I'm saying? At least try to make some money off of it and stuff like that. Don't just sit right here and just
Don't waste all your time doing nothing.
all your
Yeah.
time just doing nothing. Like shoot. You can't make money playing games, right? Shoot. You just don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah. Although that market's really flooded too, all of the
Mhm.
digital genre
Well,
type
everything's
jobs.
everything's getting flooded, man. Especially the sex industry. Oh my god.
Oh God, see, they don't need one more. Someone said something about OnlyFans to me this morning. I'm like, no, it would be OnlyFins first off because I am a fish, and secondly, no, I'm a good girl.
You're
I
good.
ain't got
See,
nothing.
Johnny. Oh, Johnny, we another good girl. Unlike Yogi.
And that's not to say that I wouldn't show someone I was interested in, but it's not the sort of thing that's general fare for everyone. It's none of their damn business.
Mhm.
I think we need a lot more of none of their damn business in our world right now. Mind your business.
Yeah, because I mostly, like I said, when it comes to like being on Twitch, I mostly follow people who basically be gaming and things like that, and like because you got a whole huge plethora of like a whole bunch of like Twitch dots over there and things like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah, watch that.
yeah, try not to judge too much, but I just see some of them and I'm just like, no.
And I gotta say, if I were 20 now, it would be appealing. It seems like easy money. But being the age that I am, looking back at that kind of life, I'd be like, no, I don't think that would help my chances of actually catching and keeping one when I was ready to get married. Because
And
there would come a time when I would, you know.
and that's what really gets on my nerves when it comes to like like women who get into that type of work right there. Yeah, it's all fun when they're doing it right then and there, but then it's like as years go by, then all of a sudden they look back and they're like, oh my god, I wish I would have never did that. It's like you knew what it was going to be like as when you first started that right there. It's like
Well, they
whatever you
didn't think
did.
it through because they were just thinking about what they wanted in the moment. I
Mhm.
mean, they don't think Cartman's mom's a crackhead. They don't think that's where that's going.
Because I'm
You
a
know?
live life with no regrets type of person and things like that. So it's like, like if you're looking at it right now, like if you can't see yourself looking at it 10 years on down the road and being like, you know what, I have no regrets right there, then don't do it.
Yeah. If you can honestly say that. And I think part of the problem now is that we're so short-sighted and we see so little of actual consequences because it's all muddled
Mhm.
up in this salad of information we're constantly bombarded with. And so we sometimes overlook the obvious.
Mhm.
That's a crouton, bro. Don't step on that.
Oh. So yeah, like so between like like between like like singing on YouTube content and things like that, chasing tails, like I'm doing all that right there with the writing and hanging on the outside and things like that. What I'm saying, what else is exciting happens in the life of Pinky?
Not much, actually. I have a very quiet life, very comfortable life. I have people staying with me who are down on their luck and trying to get themselves together, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's what we do. Is how we behave. We've done it our whole relationship, and it's probably never going to stop. So,
Just chill with each other right there and have
yeah, we
have
make
fun, have the
friends and
time of
take
our
care of
lives.
people, and that's what we do. It's no biggie.
Oh yes, I love it. Like I said, if you ever hear this lady's voice right here and things like that, especially if you're a guy like me, you're gonna be like, "Ooh, girl, I'm finna throw the wallet at you, goddamn.
Nobody has yet done. Okay, I will say nobody, but that's not true. I did have one person throw full on wallet at me. Usually, I just get dick pics.
Yeah, just like woo, child, like girl. I'm saying I'm finna send you on a shopping spree with that goddamn voice. Like, woo. I mean, especially like I said, when you get into one of those songs that real like man, good God Almighty, man, like.
Yeah, I've got Joke on Fever. It's his favorite that I do.
Yeah, because I mean, you hit them certain notes right there, and I mean, it's just like, shoot, hey, boy, that lady, she can get it.
And you know what? It's just a thing I do. I don't think anything about it. It's just I've always performed somewhere for somebody, so it's really just what my whole life is.
So it's like, do you get a whole lot of reactions like that? Like, like when people hear your voice and just like, oh God.
I've been told all kinds of interesting things about myself. Someone told me, I wish I could just bang your voice. I'm like, it's not a physical thing, bro. That's not happening. You can't just do that. And like I said, I do get my share of dick pics, which I'm okay with. I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not threatened by that. Ain't nobody getting nothing anyway. It doesn't matter.
You're like, nah, no, I know my secret right there. Shoot, just belt out a couple of notes right there, and that's
if I ever feel sad, I will send a song to someone I know is reactive and get a response. It's okay. I know what to do. I don't have to be lonely if I don't want to.
I'm saying that's many women right there,
And I'm not even pretty.
Oh, I'm saying, don't put yourself down. I've seen you thinking like, oh man. Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't know. My tastes are not the same as your tastes. I like men with beards. So
well, I got a goatee, so it's kind of like a growing beard. It's kind of like
it's in progress.
Yeah, like I say, it's a start out, it's a virgin beard. So I don't know. I just can't see myself with like especially like I cook, so they keep us
gotta keep them trim.
Yeah, we got to keep it trim and things like that. So I never got into the whole full on beard thing. There have been times where it's like I let stuff grow out because I've been too lazy to shave and shit like that. It's like, God damn it, I gotta trim this up right there before they start complaining. Because I hate those beard nets, man. I don't wear them. Yeah. But there comes a time where it's like like, oh, we got an inspection right here. And
better than wearing a face mask over it though.
Yeah. Oh God! Oh yeah! During that time, during COVID, oh my God, that was worse right there, man.
I wonder when they're going to drop the new release, the new virus.
I think it depends on like this.
Probably winter. That makes sense.
If they don't get their way in this election right here, like the mask will come back, and of course, these people will act all.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I have my theories, but I don't want to go tinfoil on you today. So
I think this time, people are just gonna fight. Like no, y'all got us the last time, and look what the hell happened to us. Like
and we're just
doing that junk again.
We're just looking for something to resist right now. Everybody's so freaking angry. We're all fed the fuck up with paying another 50% on top of what we were already paying on gas and groceries. Okay, we're tired of not being able to make ends meet. And you can't let people starve, bro. That's how the French leaders got their heads cut off the last time they did that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the rich people are going, "Oh, it's not so bad." Well, maybe for you because
you have $15 ice cream in your freezer. Shut your mouth. You don't know shit about fuck, cunt. No, and that's the problem. See, there's the disconnect. The very poor think all of the people above them are all very rich, and the middle people think that all of the people above them are very rich. And usually that's how it works, but the people at the top don't see the people below them except as props. You're here to serve me. This is your job. And not all of us are like this, okay? A lot of us struggle day to day and paycheck to paycheck and live the way we live, and we just want to be left alone. And I don't understand why that's so hard to let be. Why
Mm-hmm.
you got to trash normality? Why you got to trash knowing your place and being mid and being okay with it? Why you got to trash us? We're happy here. Leave us alone. you know.
Oh yeah,
Why you gotta-
the happy medium is always the best place to be right
oh, balance, man. Balance is the
there.
spot because there's a lot less drama in the balance zone.
Yeah, I try to be that way, but sometimes, man, it's like some days just face, make me choose, like like up or down, cause
Yeah. And I find myself being quiet in a lot of situations where I normally would have something to say because I'm very opinionated, as you know.
and that's the reason why I have like channels like this, or like my Twitch channel. So when life is just getting like too tough and things like that, like you know what, let me go on here. Let me either go play a game or let me go stream with these folks right here who I know I can get along with, and we can just basically sit back,
Yeah.
chill, and have the time of our life. Or when you
Mhm.
send me like a script, like with some lines right there, and I'm just basically, getting basically into them, like it just takes your mind, even for a second, man. It just takes your mind off of the nonsense that's going on right there, man.
And
And that's
dude,
what it's
that's what
really
all the things I do are all about. I just want to take your mind off the world for 5 minutes while you listen to my
all.
voice, and just help you remember it's not all bad. Nature is beautiful and full of wonders, and we find the time to be bored.
Yeah. Time to be bored of something to be offended by. And that's what I'm
Or
just.
afraid of. We so are addicted to being afraid and angry, all these negative emotions, man. I'm just gonna go and smoke another bowl and be like, whatever, y'all. Y'all can just chill. I give no fucks whatsoever.
Yeah, be like, well, I'm just gonna have the time of my life, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I only got this one. Why should I sit around crying about you cementing yourself to the concrete like an idiot?
And it seems like, and it does seem like a lot of them have figured that out right there. They've been trying to find ways to mess that up right there, like I said, with the woke television or the woke video games and
Oh,
all. I'm just
communism always comes for culture. That's the first thing they do. They take away your culture, and while they're taking away your culture, distracted by that, they're taking away your rights underneath that, and pretty soon you don't own anything. You're eating the bugs, living in the pods, and enjoying it, and that's what they want you to do. So ask the WEF; they'll tell you. They said that shit out loud. You will live in the pods and eat the bugs, and you will own nothing and like it. That's what he sounds like. And they're all up this guy's ass. They love this guy.
yeah. But every day I tend to try to fight it off of the best way I can, like doing all this stuff right here. Oh, I'll say if I really want to have fun, I will bug Bonsako right here, who's basically in the chat right here, like
Bonsako's solid, dude.
yeah, to my have something. No, you will not. Like I said,
I will not
outside.
eat the
I
bugs.
sent that picture to you. I'm saying, for I'm saying, besides you already bugged me with that jacked up video that you be playing all the time right there. Like, oh my god.
What has
And
he
listen,
got you on?
he's got some video out there, man, of this one guy, like I don't know, he's dancing in a Speedo. He's got these cherry red pizza nipples and things like that. He's wearing a mask on and singing some jacked up song, man. And the messed up part is it's starting to get catchy now. Like
Oh no.
um
It's like the square butt cheek guy video.
yeah, it's like I'm saying, you sitting right here, and all of a sudden this song gets in your head and stuff like that. And you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get you. Because it's bad when the worst song that you ever heard and things like that. Now all of a sudden I'm saying you almost jamming too.
Right? Yeah, I hate it. I get caught up by commercials like that. We'll be watching TV at night because this is our nightly ritual. We watch 2 hours of television together in the complete quiet and just enjoy the moment together, right?
Mhm.
And the commercials come on, and I have to mute them because the Jardians commercial has a very catchy song, and I catch myself singing it randomly. It's very annoying. Jardians, it's really swell. A little pill with a big story to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I get with some of the stuff we be having right here, especially I'm saying Bon Soccer with that one song right there. All right, whatever. But this has been so much fun, Pinky, right here. Thank you for coming on and like doing this interview with me. Like I love you to
Hey,
death.
we should get together again sometime and talk tinfoil, bro. I'd love to
Oh
get
yeah,
into it.
oh yes, anytime. You already know, like I said, besides this right here, I have my other live stream channel that I basically do right there. And I'm saying you're welcome on anytime that I'm saying that you want to and all that right there.
Cool,
Uh,
super.
Yeah, and for everybody out there, like thank y'all for joining us for I'm saying for this fun hour right here that we've been talking to the lovely Pinky Salmon. And you already know if you want to catch more of her things like that, she's doing the Chasing Tails special right here, as you see right on this channel right here, Pinky Salmon the Bard. So if you haven't subscribed yet and things like that, get over there, subscribe, check out the Chasing Tail things right there from one on up until the current episode right now. And like I said, the new episode is dropping tomorrow.
At
Oh,
6
yeah.
p.m. Central.
And I'm looking forward to it. Oh my God! Right.
It's funny because you get the script in advance. You know what's going to happen, but I bet you don't read anything but your part, do you?
Yeah, I get to my point. Yeah, because I mainly do it on
I do
purpose.
mark
Like,
them.
It's like I'm gonna do my part right here and things like that because I don't really because I want to see how this all this is gonna play through right there. Like, oh
Yeah,
man.
I think most people do that.
Yeah, so I'm listening to the whole entire thing, even though I know what the parts is and things like that. But I'm just like, I just want to hear it in its entirety, especially like how everybody's basically, doing that stuff right there. When it comes to all of us right there.
Oh, and getting to hear everybody else play their parts in
Yes.
context. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that part of the process.
That's when you realize, like, dang, man, we are really, really good.
We are really good. And we have a good time. And I wish we could do more things together as a group.
Yes.
Talk about promotions and different things we can do to kind of do stuff with people, right?
I know, but sometimes life gets in the way, and like I said,
We are all grown ass adults. It is difficult.
Not everybody can get together at times, because I've been many times like, oh man, I would like to, man, but I'm at work or I'm doing this right here. Like,
yeah, a table read would be impossible. I mean, first off, half of our people are British, right? So, and we've got an Australian and some British people and some people who live in different time zones. It's like, that's not happening. Finding that sweet spot in the day would be impossible.
Yeah. But when we do get together, man, we have fun.
Yes. Oh, but that reminds me, the end of season 6, that'll put us at the halfway mark. So be thinking of ideas of what we could do at the halfway mark. For that last episode, maybe, I don't know. We could think of something, but maybe I'll do a giveaway or make some merch or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that will.
But think of things that you would like if you were thinking as a person who watches it. What would you like? Because I have no idea.
Oh yeah, we'll be throwing out stuff and ideas and suggestions as we go right there. But until that thing right there, like once again, like thank y'all to everybody who come out here and hung out with us through this time right here. And to get more of us, like I said, you'll see like the links down in the description below to like Pinky's channel right there, as well as for me, like I said, I am Patrick. You can check me out on X at IBPatrick247. You can check out my Twitch channel and all my other information that's out there right there. But until once again, thank y'all for hanging out with us. I'm saying, once more again, I don't know when our next mine is going to come, our next gym is going to come to us. Like I'm basically out there looking for many, many other more people to talk. I'm saying both big and, both big and small, because that's one thing I like about doing this right here. It's like, it doesn't matter if a person is a really big person or, like I'm saying a very small, like channel and things like that. If I find them interesting and I can get them on here and things like that, we're definitely going to have us some fun right there, man. Including that nut Johnny Bonsacco right there who keeps talking, But until I see y'all once again, thank you, Pinky, for coming on once again. And I'm your boy Patrick saying, whatever you're gonna do in life, man, do it with no regrets, man. Peace. Spark along.
Have a good one, y'all.